Howdy all y'all, ElixirQuiver here with a new how-to, and today we're going to learn how to build this machinery here. This is my bamboo farm that I'm currently using on my Let's Play world. It has 60 pistons, each firing about every 4 minutes for 300 pistons total on this 5-unit setup. It will fit snugly in a 3x3 chunk, making it perfect for a chunk loader or even spawn chunks. And one unit alone will generate about 18-ish stacks of bamboo or 2 bamboo block stacks an hour. Today we're only going to be building the first unit here that will come with the clock and the collection slash condensing area here. However, it's very simple to just attach the line here by replacing this block with a rail and letting it just move on down the way to all of them, as well as just attaching right here a single repeater, and it'll just continue working all the way down. To build the first unit, you're going to need about 13.5 stacks of smooth stone. You can take about a stack out. If you choose not to build this up in the air, you can just use the floor and save on the blocks for the rails. Then you're going to need about 2 stacks-ish of glowstone, 62 dirt, 60 bamboo, 28 chests, 16 hoppers, 2 redstone torches, 2 blocks of redstone, 6 levers, 6 redstone comparators, 38 repeaters, almost 2 stacks of redstone dust. And then you're going to need 50 rails, 15 powered rails, 2 crafters, 60 pistons, 3 sticky pistons, and a gate of your choice. For the collection chamber, you're going to need a minimum of 14 source blocks, that's what the kelp is for, and an optional 2 redstone lamps that I will talk about later. Now, the first part we're going to do is lay the track work. It's going to be 32 long on one side. However, it is going to be, if we go right here, 30 long on the other side. And it should look something like this with 2 little pieces sticking out on the very end. After that, we're going to go right here and we're going to place 5 powered rails and 3 powered rails, as well as 3 right here and right here. Don't forget to power them. Finally, just fill in the rest of this with rails and be careful not to have them meet up like I did just there. Finally, place a block right here, jump up, jump on it, and then fill in right here. So you have 2 powered rails right here next to the stone bricks here, and then just fill in on top of all of these rails some dirt. Now would be a good time to just place your bamboo. It technically only takes 60, but I actually put 62 down so that I don't have to count 15 on either side. Bring this up like that, and then grab yourself some glowstone or some jack-o'-lanterns if you don't want to go to the nether. That will work too, but it should be a solid block. If you're feeling fancy, you got frog lights, and then just slap on the side of one of these bamboo a piece of glowstone and work your way on back to the other side. Put a couple of stones there, and then just repeat. Once you look something like this, we're going to take ourselves some more smooth stone to make it so we have some room. We're going to go 2 blocks all the way across right here. And do the same on the other side. Now we're going to take right here, and we're just going to place ourselves 15 of these. We're going to skip a block and place 15 more. Make sure to do it exactly the same on the other side. Once you've done that, go ahead and pillar up again with your building block of choice. Fill in these two gaps right here, and then finally count up 6 blocks. Once you've done that, just fill in until you reach the top of that pillar. Once you got yourself something like this, it's time to take and put one last band of glowstone on the top. Cap it off so that things don't accidentally get in and clog up the system. It is important to put the glowstone on the top because bamboo grows only if the topmost piece of the bamboo is in a light level of 9 or greater. Now that we've built the box and have our bamboo growing inside, it's time to wire it. Wiring it is very easy, and all we got to do is start with picking a side. However, the side you pick is going to be the side that does not have more units connected to it. So make sure to pick the direction. In this case, I am going to be picking the left side and progressing right. To do that, we're going to come out one more, and then we're going to start going up this way. I choose to remove this block so that we don't have wasted blocks, but just staircase yourself right on up to right about there. So we should be counting the topmost block of the stair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 from the very end of the build, and then having one block extend farther. Then we're going to come down here. We're going to place a block right here, destroy this, and then come on down the way right here and connect this side. On the side with the stairs, we're going to place right here a repeater facing down the way and then a repeater here. And we're going to count 8 more of these, skipping every other spot. So this is 1, 2, 3. And if you built this correctly, which I have not, this blank space should be right here. So let's fix that really quick. Break this. Come in here. You'll probably want to do the same right here. If everything lines up like this, you're going to take a repeater in this blank spot, heading down the way again, and then you're going to do 8 more of these. And the 8th one should end right on the end. Then we're going to fill in all of this with redstone wire. We do not need to put redstone here. As a matter of fact, if you wanted to salvage blocks, you could remove that one. We're going to come across the way here, and we're going to do the same thing. A repeater on the block going into the double wide and then counting 8 of these. Again, it should line up so that the repeater, the 8th repeater, is just before the blank spot. Just follow your redstone all the way up right to this point. And now we're going to build the etho hopper clock that's going to be running the entire system. From this floating block, we're going to lean over the edge, and we're going to place 2 right here, and then we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, and on number 5, we're going to put a single floating block on the edge like this. We're going to place 1 more right next to it. We're going to place ourselves a piece of dust on this one and a piece of dust on this one. Then we're going to take our comparators. We're going to put one in this block, place another block right next to the dust with a comparator going into that one as well as the one here. So far, your build should look something like this. Now, just take your sticky pistons, not these pistons, and you're going to place one right off of that redstone dust and one off of that redstone dust. Finally, you're going to place your redstone block on it, followed by taking your hopper and making them kiss like this. before you put anything in the hopper, it should look something like this. Now, an etho hopper clock, you can put up to 5 stacks of items in here, and a hopper can transfer 2.5 items a second, meaning this will be just over 2 minutes to fully empty one hopper into this one, and then it's going to try and send them back for a total of 2 more minutes, making this run for a little over 4 minutes. Finally, we got to connect the whole thing. We got to put ourselves a torch on this one floating block. And if you heard, this made all of the pistons work and break those blocks. Now, every 4 minutes, this is going to work. Now, in a recent update, they made it so that hoppers will produce less lag if you put a solid block on top of hoppers that you do not need to pick up items. They're just pushing items back and forth. So make sure you put yourself 2 solid blocks onto this. Finally, we're going to come back down here and we're going to set up the mechanism that's going to collect and also condense all of the stuff into blocks. If you built this on the floor, I would dig yourself out at least 4 wide by, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6. Dig it down a couple blocks, just to give yourself some room. Once you've done that, go ahead and place yourself at the very end of this, a double chest with a hopper on top of it. Then from the chest, we're going to kind of build ourselves a Y. Make sure to remove the blocks so that they are not touching. You should not have any of these blocks fully touching, just the very corners. Take yourself a comparator, put it on the bottom one. Then you're going to take and have that pointing out, of course. Then back towards the whole farm, you're going to place yourself a repeater with a torch underneath it. That should power the repeater. Then we're going to take ourselves our last sticky piston, place it here, extending it, place a redstone block, and then grab yourself a gate. Make sure you have it like this. Grab one more powered rail, place it here. Finally, grab yourself a hopper minecart. And technically, your farm is now done. It should make its way down, bounce off the solid block, and come on down the way. And if it picked any items up, the comparator is going to detect it and cause the gate to close by pulling the redstone block off, unloading the cart into the chest. I had accidentally put the double chest on the wrong side. You're going to want it on the poking out the same side as the stairs. Back to the double chest, we're going to place a chest right here. We're going to go right here with it, and then we're going to place a hopper into it and a hopper straight down. Now, unfortunately, there's a thing called hopper hash mapping. And basically, your hoppers are going to be random, and they're sometimes going to power and fill into this chest first, or it's going to go down. It's rather unpredictable, and I did make a workaround for this. But right now, by doing it this way, we are going to fill ourselves up a double chest of bamboo in case we ever just want the bamboo. Because it is a little tight right here. To help with visual, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to go 2 on either side of this. Now, one side should be directly under the hopper pointing down. Now we're going to come over here, we're going to jump up on the very tail of this, and we're going to place a crafter pointing up. Then we're going to come over here to where the hopper is pointing down, and we're going to place a crafter. And it's very important that it is looking in the same direction as the side with the redstone staircase. Once you've done that, you're going to take and place yourselves a solid block on the opposite side of the crafter and one next to it, followed by a comparator going into the backside solid block, and then one going into that comparator from the one looking at the sky. Open up the one that's looking at the sky and click every single one of these. Once you've done that, just come on over here to the back side, place yourself a repeater into the solid block and a dust. Now you can test it by taking the hopper, going into the crafter, and putting some bamboo. It should fill it up, and once it's full, it should automatically spit out a bamboo block. But spitting the items on the ground isn't very helpful, so we're going to build a waterway to fill it and transfer all the items into a bunch of chests. If your crafter is not level with the ground, go ahead and put yourself a little triangle shape like this. Come up one block like this, and earlier I had mentioned that chests and hoppers pulling out of the chests can be a little random. So as a backup, go ahead and place yourself a redstone lamp here. You don't have to if you don't want to, but I like to do it just to say, hey, I currently have this set a certain way. Once you did that, take yourself a lever and just attach it to the redstone lamp. So now, not only is it powering this redstone lamp, turning it on, saying that you've powered this, but it also locks this hopper. So now items will not be going through this hopper to this. It will go over here to fill the chest first. However, if this chest was already full and you left that on, it'll just fill up the hopper. But after that, as you can see, it's not going to go anywhere. That's why I like to have this light, so that I can just see, oh, I have this set to collect bamboo. And if you want more bamboo, you can also place yourself a hopper here with some more chests. However, you have to leave this block right here, so you do have to have it be a little inefficient in your little stack if you were to do that. I personally find that one double chest is more than enough. So go ahead and turn that light off, and that'll allow the items to funnel in here and go here. If they were already going to go here to this side, once the hopper's full, then it'll just redirect here. Anyways, let's pillar this on up all the way up to the top of this build. Now, before we finish this tube so the water doesn't go everywhere, it is important to note that this double chest underneath the hopper that's collecting all of the items, once we put a block on it, it will no longer be able to be opened. So if you want to open it, you're going to need to go and put yourself some glass or a non-solid block. That way you can open that chest. That chest should ideally never have any items in it. It's just so that you can direct the bamboo into two different directions. So you don't really need to be able to open that chest at all. So for me, I'm just going to place a solid block there, and we're going to pillar on up, but we're going to stop right here, one block below the glowstone. Then we're going to build it across 3, give it a little trough here, and then build on around. So you should have a hole, 3 spaces, and then another hole. Then simply place yourself a bunch of chests. I wanted my chests to line up neatly like this, so I staggered them this way. And once you do that, you're going to just take yourself some hoppers, and you're going to connect them into each other. Now, because I wanted my chests down there to line up, I do have this funny little spot where it's just going to go straight down like this instead of bending into the hoppers, into the chest. You could add one more double chest here if you shifted this all over one block. But personally, I just like how this looks. Now that you've done that, we can go on in here and we can just fill this up because we don't need this. come back up to the top, place yourself some water. It should run across like that. And then you're going to take some kelp. You're going to jump on in the water. And you're going to just pillar this kelp right on up here. And that's going to create source blocks, allowing the items to flow up to the top. Once you've done that, go ahead and just close it off in case a zombie or something happens to be up here. They don't pick up the items on you. However, the light from the glowstone makes this entire build 100% spawn proof. Once you've capped this, you have now finished this entire module. It will automatically collect you some bamboo, and then it's going to craft the rest into bamboo blocks. If you choose to make this longer, all you got to do is add a block right here, put a repeater, and then rebuild this unit, as well as just simply come over here, getting rid of the block that's right here, and connecting the line with some plain Jane minecart rails all the way down. Make sure that at the very end you have a solid block so that the minecart can bounce. One final thing I would like to add, and this is completely optional, is these spots here. Let's say you're running on an older computer or one that doesn't really handle all of the pistons, and you built all this and you're feeling some lag. So you just come over here and you turn on this, and it will make all of these pistons turn on. And these 3 units are now powered on and will not cause lag. Now only these 2 are working. And then if you want to, AFK overnight while you sleep, you just come over here, turn this one off, and all 5 will start working. Or maybe you only wanted to turn 1 off. You can come over here and just turn 1 off. And of course, for some reason, if you wanted to turn all of them off, you just tuck a redstone lamp underneath and then put on the first stair. And this will turn every single one of these off so that they will no longer be gathering stuff. But anyways, my name is ElixirQuiver, and y'all take care now.